Okay. It would appear that I managed to bypass the freaking bugginess of this game and streaming. For this time again. Okay, so what's new is, well, we've got this. That's not what I was expecting to. You've got this news article. Oh, pay. And this, which didn't really have any effect unless you pay for boosters anyways. So let's go look at the new stuff. $20 for this useless set. It can only be used if you manage to get the armor core. And it's only for said armor core, so yep. And of course there's this, which I will admit is actually pretty enticing, but I'm not paying no $20 to get it, so $15 to get it. Now, I kind of like this for the front end of the assault rifle, but everything else in the bundle is pretty meh. Well, there's that. Too bad it's black and white, but and then there's this desert wind thing, which includes the visor, but not the rest of the helmet pieces. This week's offers for the HTC haven't changed. Okay. So from there, we look at what's new. You've got this. As you can see, it's reoccurring. Happens yada yada yada. Limited time of weeklies you can do, but to me, the only thing really worth any really effort into this is like the emblem out of the whole thing. And well, you've got to do these special ones here. And to do that, you have to do Fiesta, which is, let's just put, stupidly crazy. To summarize it. But you get a little more XP towards your season. Whoop-de-doo. It's basically useless unless you pay for premium anyways. Because the way everything's set up. So, that is in a nutshell. Wait, I'll show off the featured shader for the week. Where was it? Here we go. Willow Tea. This is what you get for the weekly challenges this week. That's it. What they do. As far as I can see, and have been able to tell, it's the multiplayer is everything I imagined it would be. A very bastardly spawn of Destiny's, Crucible, and Destiny's cosmetic system / customization system married and bred with COD's essentially gameplay elements on the world. If that makes any sense. Or not sort of gameplay elements, but sort of physics, if that makes sense. They've always been sort of wonky. And the whole game just, yeah. People call it amazing. I call it amazing that it even should even exist in its current state. But then again, I've always been anti-COD. I don't see what people find so interesting about it. It's just total crap to me, but somehow people find a reason to pay for $60 for the same freaking thing with a new appearance slapped on top of it every year. So, except for the free-to-play version that we really recently released, but I don't really see how it's all that different other than the way they milk people for money, really. Anyways, so that's in a nutshell this. And as I've said before, even the AI models remind me of Destiny's Ghost. And this one
have my full confidence, Spartan.
Reminds me of Lord Shanks from Destiny, the PvP announcer / vendor.
Let's do some damage.
This is literally Vera from Netflix original sequel / reboot of the series Reboot, known as Reboot Guardians of the Core, which is a show I grew up with in the 90s, similar to Beast Wars and Beast Machines, which was a Transformers like sequel, so to speak, following the next generation, if you will, that somehow go back in time before humans were more than just primitive cavemen in the time of dinosaurs and whatnot. So, it's kind of questionable how well this is going to work. I mean, I basically felt that since saw the first vestiges of everything in it, and they announced any information. I mean, don't get me wrong, it looks cool, but that's all it is at this point, and has been. Is looking cool. I guess at the end, it'll literally be up to its single player to decide the fate of the game in the whole. Because at this point, the multiplayer is already total crap scratch that'll die out really quickly. Especially with the people that do find the multiplayer gameplay amazing, can't stand the way the rest of it's set up around the multiplayer, such as the progression and cosmetics and stuff. Anyways, that's it for the BattleNets. I may or may not be available to do them again next week, mainly due to the holiday and things that can happen around that. I won't immediately do What's New Newman, primarily due to the fact that before I started the streams, I checked to see if my co-host was available, and unfortunately they currently were not even on NGS, so there might be a delay for the next episode of What's New Newman. What that means is basically what I said. There could be delay. It could be just simply a delay for later today, or it could just end up being tomorrow, or could not happen this week. It just depends. I mean, I could do it by myself, but let's be honest. In my current state and everything, half of the flair that it has gained recently due to co-hosting just gone. And a lot of people have already told me before I even congested and sound funky, they find my voice straight up annoying. So co-hosting probably is the only thing that'll draw people back, so I probably won't do it coverages by myself on that, and probably will look for co-hosts for everything I do in the future if I can, just to offset that as much as possible. Such is life, though, I suppose. Especially life with Asperger's syndrome. I suppose I can do a quick fiesta. I am not the leader. I'm the only one here, how am I not the leader? Forgive me. Leftover congestion. I even have everything set up right.
Fiesta.
It's like the default technical build settings were so bad that even though I didn't have any drift before playing them, after playing them for the duration I did, both my sticks have drift. Yet,
No
you can't even really tell, depending on the settings. Two weapons I would never want to use. Haha. That's nice.
Taking damage!
lost the lead.
Okay.
Did some damage. Taking more on damage.
What was it? 2.5 in master key collection.
Take cover. Another one down. Enemy shields down. Frag out. Shields box. Next one. Enemies on me. Taking damage! Just kidding.
The lead.
Phone just went off.
Taking fire!
That's why you never sit still on the tank. Of course, I couldn't help that. I wasn't the driver, so. Those useless weapon spawns, I swear. Probably the only decent weapon spawn so far. Definitely better than a needler.
Back.
This kind of reminds me of Fire-Based Saber from Reach. But bigger, I guess? There's more to it than it just being bigger, of course, but... Huh. Too bad. I was hoping that would have been drivable. That would actually have been funny.
Frag out.
It would have actually been funny to be able to even drive the truck. You know, they're like more scenery than anything else.
way to victory.
Oh right, I didn't change that.
Too many of us.
Well, at least I took him with me. I was hoping to get that rare achievement where you splatter somebody with the damn thing in matchmaking, but oh well. That's a death trap in this map with the way vehicles are so useless. It's funny, they're like, oh, don't worry. It's only in the technical build that the vehicles have been scaled down. Yeah, well, then you forgot to scale them back up for this beta because they're still freaking paper mache.
Let's find out some targets.
Okay, well, they broke the sword's usefulness. And then gave me shitty weapons instead.
Enemy team nearing victory. Lost the lead.
Of course. The only time a sword works when you get to jump in that.
Remaining.
hate Fiesta with a passion.
Now we're talking.
Enemy sparks are closing in.
Defeat.
Literally all Fiesta really is do you spawn lucky, do you not? Alright. Yay. Because 50 is such a big freaking deal. Anyway, so that's the end of this BattleNet, and yeah, obviously pretty much the opposite of thrilled or impressed with 343 at this point. I mean, so far it's even worse than Halo 5 and Halo 4. As far as arena is concerned, arena type gameplays. And that's the end of BattleNet for Infinite this week. Till next time.